your host, Stoney Love. Happy whatever day it is to you, and I hope that you're having a fabulous and wonderful afternoon, morning, night, or whenever you may be watching this. Today, I have with me in the studio Norma Stanley and her beautiful daughter, Sierra Stanley. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
All right, and I want to say thank you so much, even at last minute notice, for you coming out to join me. You are such a busy woman,
Thank
and you
you.
do so much in the community.
Well, yeah, I am busy, but you make time for things that are important to you.
That is so true. Now, I can go down the list of things of what you do, but I don't have all of them in my mind. I know that you are, what do you call it, an A&R? Is that right?
Public relations consultant.
That's it. And everybody who's in show business need one of those. Is that right?
Yeah, it's very helpful to have a publicist, yes.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah.
And an author
I am an author. I am a singer-songwriter.
and
I
mom.
am a mom of an adult daughter born with disabilities.
Now, I am wanting to know, and I'm sure we all want to know, how do you juggle all of this and still give Sierra that love and attention that she needs?
Well, actually, everything that I do, Sierra is the center of it. So I work everything around Sierra, and has
Wow.
done that since she was born. And it's part of my purpose. I believe that that's what God brought me here for, is to be able to not only help to maximize her potential, but to help enhance the quality of life for families like ours, families of individuals with disabilities.
Now, I've had the pleasure of witnessing Sierra be in a talent show, fashion show.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
And she did amazing and looked amazing.
Yeah,
And seemed like she adored the attention.
she does. She loves the attention. She does, and she loves being around people just in general for the most part.
Yes.
Even though she's kind of quiet, but she loves being around people, especially people who are around her own age and doing the same kind of things that she loves to do. And she loves music, so anything that combines music and fashion and her mom,
Aw.
generally, she's pretty excited about it. And yeah, she was part of An Evening of Fashion and Elegance, which is a fashion
Yes.
show that we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. The creator of that event is a woman named Sharon Gary Dill.
I know exactly.
And yeah, so she's the person, and we were supposed to do it this year, but COVID happened to all of us, so she couldn't do it this year. But we've been a part of that since its inception. And Sierra, it was her opportunity to be able to shine and show her love of fashion and just really enjoy being among other individuals like herself with
Yes.
disabilities, adults with disabilities, and show their love of fashion. And they hit the runway and they just had a
Yes.
great time.
And she did an
Amazing.
amazing job. I can see that you're not camera shy either.
No, no.
She's not. And so you've written a book called The Resistance.
Yes.
Is that in relation to your motherhood and
It actually deals with the issue of the enemy within. And for me, the enemy within was procrastination. It was such a big demon in my life for so many, many years. I'm still fighting that demon, but I've overcome mostly. And one of the songs that I wrote has to do with the issue of procrastination also. So it's called Just Do It. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do is to help through speaking and workshops and different things, help people to understand that they need to not put off for tomorrow what they should be doing today.
exactly.
Because tomorrow is not promised, as we realized this through going through what we're dealing with right now with the COVID situation. And so my goal is to maximize my potential while I'm here and not to take time for granted. And the resistance talks about that gives my little journey as to how procrastination caused issues in my life and how I overcame it through, just changing some things about my own development and my own focus.
Well, I want to say to you about when we procrastinate, we end up failing
Yes.
in so many
Yes, I do.
ways. And it could be because of fear, because of so many things. Is she uncomfortable?
I think she's okay. She's, like you say, I think she's trying to get in front of that camera. Sit back with her.
Oh, she's
Okay.
Aw.
Good girl. Okay, stay
Aw.
still. Thank you.
Well, I can imagine. These are big, beautiful cameras, and like it's your moment in the light.
Yeah.
So I can imagine she's
Okay, now where you
excited.
going? You trying to go somewhere?
She
No,
says
but you
yes.
can't. Mommy's on camera, and you're on camera too.
Oh, yes.
I don't usually have her on with all of the different things that we do.
Right.
There's times when she's perfectly still and she'll sit there and watch everything, and then there's times she just does what she does, and
Oh no, but
you know.
she's fine because.
So if she decides to leave, you know why? She's like, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Oh really?
And
So
she'll get up and crawl
And-
out of here. She'll go down someplace more interesting.
Really?
I need you to sit
Okay.
still though. Thank you, boo boo.
And
Good
I think
girl.
I guess for people like me, then I wouldn't understand that. But for you as a mom,
Yeah.
to have gathered the patience, in the beginning, was that hard for you to pray?
It was definitely a learning curve.
Okay.
And I mean, she's going to be 32 in
Yes.
a couple of months.
Okay.
And so I've been dealing with this for most of her life,
Yes.
all of her life. And, finding out who she is as an individual, what works, what doesn't work, when she gets into her little moods and how to handle that, all of those kind of things you learn as you go.
Yes.
And it's part of the process, it's part of becoming an advocate for her as well as for other moms and other families like ours, sharing and educating people on what they need to do.
She loves you very much.
Okay, boo boo, mommy, you can't pull mommy's neck 'cause she's so strong.
Yeah, but she loves you very much.
Yes, she does. She's so strong, and she doesn't know her own strength.
Right.
And so I have to kind of, can you sit still for mommy? Can you sit still? Okay, because we're on camera. We're going to be on a show. We're going to show Grandma soon. Yes, Grandma's going to want to see this. Yes.
Aw.
So, she could say a few words. She was born with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And it's something called microencephaly, which is supposed to be a small brain. And so, although she's 32 almost, she doesn't have the intellectual capacity of somebody her age.
Okay.
And so, so I'm her caregiver full time,
Mhm.
and have been since she was born. And so my goal throughout her whole life was to help to maximize her potential. And so the modeling thing has been a way to show
Yes,
that
she
there's some
really
things that she
impressed.
can do.
I'll never forget that,
Yeah,
Sierra.
yeah, she really,
When I saw you on television.
She loves being
and
on
yeah,
the
because you
runway.
guys did a rerun of it.
Yeah, it got covered by one of the local stations.
Yes.
And so yeah, she knows when people are watching her genuinely, and she just loves being a part of things. And that's one of the things
Yes.
that I try to maximize for her, to make sure that she's involved.
But you know what
in
I
things
liked
that I
about
do.
that? You guys didn't make them feel or any different.
Right, that's the point.
It was like everybody else, and they
Sit
had
down,
to
boo-boo.
wait their turn,
Yes,
and
good
everybody
girl.
was in line.
Good
They had
girl.
their makeup
down
done,
for mommy.
and everything was just done so
Absolutely.
amazingly and immaculate.
Absolutely. And we want them to be involved in the same things that we're involved in. And, again, they love being a part of it, and inclusion is very important. And so we want to make sure that, again, for my daughter, I want to make sure that she doesn't miss anything. So
Right.
she gets to come with me to a bunch of different things, and she's gotten exposed and had experiences that some of her own cousins who are typical adults have not really had an opportunity to do. So, she's a blessing to me, only
Right.
because I found out so much about who I am as an individual and
Yes.
as a mom, and as part of my purpose as to what I need to be doing with the gifts that God gave me. And so I use the various platforms. Mommy needs for you to sit still right now, okay? Thank you, boo-boo. I use the various platforms that I have as a journalist and as a singer and as a writer and an author and all the different things to help to generate awareness about the community, the population as a whole, which is actually the largest minority population in the nation.
Oh wow! So now, do you have an organization that is for Sierra that you've started?
Well, no, I don't have a nonprofit myself, but I work with quite a few nonprofits. And one of the nonprofits, I'm on the board of an organization called Able To, which is founded by a woman named Myrna Clayton, who is she's a singer also. She's an international jazz singer. She's known as American Songbird.
Oh.
And, her nonprofit is working to build the opportunity to have people with disabilities have performing art opportunities.
Okay.
So if they can sing and dance or, do spoken word or whatever it is that they do, she wants to make sure that they get an opportunity to have their own time on stage and that it is accessible, because that's something that's challenging sometimes, because accessibility, a lot of the stages don't have what they need for people with wheelchairs and things like that to get on the stage. So that's one of her main focuses, and to help to, again, change the narrative of what people consider able or not able. They're able. They're just differently able. So we just have to find out what that difference is and maximize it.
So when you're getting ready to, say, for instance, go on a vacation and take time just for Norma, and say, just, Sarah, I'll be back in a day or so. Who's there to pick up that slack for you that you trust?
I have a couple of people, and you do have to trust them.
Yes.
I mean, they're not. You just can't leave them with
because the patience and the love has to be great.
Absolutely.
Greater than the job itself.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
I've been blessed that I have family members and I have friends that I can turn to be able to do that. And it's not something that you take lightly. And,
Yes.
and not everybody can handle it.
Right.
I mean, I do have family members who, although they love Sierra, they don't know how to handle it for too long a period of time.
Okay.
Because we come from New York. We were, even though I lived in Atlanta, I live in Atlanta. I grew up in New York, and most of my family was still in that area.
Right.
So it was just me, her dad, who's no longer with us. He passed 11 years ago this year. It was just us for a period of time, and she has an older brother also who, was a big help to us when she was growing up. So, it's a small group of people that I trust around her and to help me take care of her.
That's good.
But finding those times and those moments where I can get away and it's just me, they're rare, but I have to find them. So I do it in little increments, like getting up early in the morning and going for my walk is very important to me.
Yes.
That's about an hour of me time.
Okay.
And it's exercise, and so every now and then just going to the spa. Self-care is very important for mothers like me.
Right. Because if you don't take care of you, then you're not able to take care of her.
Absolutely.
It will become so overwhelming that it
Absolutely.
just will be virtually impossible.
Absolutely.
Now,
So-
as you go into your next chapter, as that
Yes.
is called,
Yes.
did you find that you had to put your dreams on hold?
I did.
And so now you're ready. You're like,
Absolutely.
she's a little older. She can kind of
Right.
go with me, and I can now hit the stage. And
Absolutely. And I'm hoping through this next chapter of my life that I can hopefully inspire other moms like myself to go after their own dreams and, not to give up on some of the things they may have wanted to do when they were younger and when they were raising their loved ones with disabilities. And so that's part of, again, my purpose and passion is to, hopefully serve as an example of how you don't give up. Because I went through a period of time, even when I was raising her about 10 years ago, of my own depression, and I didn't even realize I was depressed. I actually had adult onset epilepsy that comes from stress that I didn't know I was stressed. I
could
just
you
thought this was
explain
my
that
life.
a little bit?
It just came out of nowhere. I was in my late 40s, and I came home one day, and I was actually sleeping in her room. I had just dropped off at school, and my husband was in the other room, and I was having a seizure, and I was banging my head against the wall. I bit a groove in my tongue. I was 48 years old, and that's very rare to have epilepsy at that age or as an adult, but thanks by the grace of God, I'm no longer on medication. I'm no longer having seizures. After about 4 years, it went away.
Definitely have a testimony.
But it's one of those things where, again, the whole disability thing, you don't know, you may not be born with it, but doesn't necessarily mean that you can't join that community at any time.
Right.
This is the community that anybody can join at any time.
Yes.
It's just somehow life can make that happen sometimes. But it's also a community that has been, underserved and neglected. And, my goal through the various things that I do is to bring awareness to it. So my music, my radio show, my upcoming television show that we're getting ready to do.
Tell us about your upcoming television show.
Well, my radio show is called Mellow Joy Nation on B Talk 100. And then
let's listen.
yes, and we're talking about the disability community, and we interview and share
And congratulations
different
on
stories.
that.
Thank you. And my
We
TV
need more
show.
voices to be.
Well, and that's one of the things as a journalist. I mean, we're starting to see more stories, but there's so many angles and so many different things that I know as a mother of a child like Sierra that are still not being covered. So I want to be able to fill the gap a little bit. And then my disability world, which will be starting this month on a station called XOD, Experience on Demand Television.
Yes.
And the actual network that I'm on is called PGN, Praise Gospel Network, PGN Network.
Yes.
And so you have to download, I don't know how it works yet, but you download the, I think the app
Okay.
This
And
is
then
how
we can
old I
view.
am.
Oh, trust
Okay,
me.
I'm one of those people. You know, I
Yes.
have to work my way into the apps things, but you have to download the XOD app in order to see it. But I'm
Okay.
excited about it. The first show will be airing later this month, and then
Okay.
we'll be doing at least one episode a month from now until. So I'm really excited about
Wow.
that, and I'm the producer, and I'm with the executive producer. I have some people helping me pull this thing together because this is new to me. And one of the things that I get excited about is the fact that, you try to, you don't know what you're capable of doing until you do it.
That is true.
And again, that song that I have on this CD called "Just Do It,"
Yes.
is an opportunity to not be afraid of making mistakes. Just go for it. You don't know how God is going to bless you
Don't.
in whatever it is that you attempt to do, because sometimes being afraid of trying something could be the one thing that's going to take you to the level that you say you want to be.
That's
I mean, if
true.
you're having dreams and you're trying to go after things, you just can't be afraid to try. And so I learned as I got older that, go for it. And that's where I am today.
That's right. Well, it has been, when I say, one big pleasure today, Norma Stanley, having you here. I just want to say thank you so much, and I wish you nothing but the best, and with your television show.
Thank you so much.
And the fact that you have so much information to give the community on raising children, such as Sierra, and people like myself who don't have patience, not even with my own grandchild. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Well, you'd be surprised. I mean,
right.
they say that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. He already knew that, he knew before you knew what you were going to be facing. And I was like, this was news to me that I could handle what I'm handling with my daughter. But,
Yes.
I just thank God for the patience and the opportunity to be able to serve now, because that's really where I am, is to really help other families through education and empowerment, and just sharing the information that people need to know about this community. And that's really what I'm about these days, leveraging everything that I do with the PR and the music and the books and whatever it is.
Oh, and getting back to the PR, I said that if you were if you were a rising star, and you needed that exposure, we need people like you.
Yeah.
Like me, I need somebody like her to put me everywhere, right? So
Well, it's a strategy, and
Right.
you have to, it's a process. It's not an automatic thing, and a lot of people don't understand all the aspects of what PR is about.
Right.
But it is definitely a component of marketing that people need to employ to help them generate awareness about what they do, their
So,
products and services. Yes.
if you're an upcoming rapper, model, writer, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, if they can go to normastanley.com for the speaker, writer information, publicist information, and if you want to hear information about my CD, you can go to Nella Joy, Nella NELLA -JOI .hearnow.com, that has information about my music, and you'll find me on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and all the various places, either as Norma Stanley or Nella Joy, the singer Nella Joy.
And she definitely can sing. I've heard her sing a cappella and on the CD, so I can definitely vouch for that. And I just wanted to let you know that the Stoney Love Atlanta Morning Show has been brought to you by Brighter Future Credit Restoration. So if you need to get that credit restored, check out Brighter Future Credit Restoration. And in the news today, I just want to say briefly, COVID-19 news. They saying that it's airborne. So if it is, it is. If it ain't, I don't know. So all I need to say is please wear your mask and keep yourselves covered. And always keep some type of hand sanitizer in your pocket book or in your little waist purse. Because men carry purses too. I'm sorry, they do. I found that out. And they said that people of color are at heightened risk of the COVID-19 as it surges again. And there is no evidence that the vitamin D can prevent or treat COVID-19. So even if you OD on vitamin D, I'm not sure if you're going to be cured. Now this week we had over 60,000 and counting new coronavirus cases in America. So that is definitely a lot. And I want to leave you with this thought: nothing is worth having if it comes easy. And you get what you work for, not what you wish for. And this is Stoney Love with the Stoney Love Atlanta Morning Show. I'm sorry I'm a little short this week, but I'm looking forward to seeing you next Saturday or whenever you decide to join in. And if you want to be a guest on the Stoney Love Atlanta Morning Show, please email me at stoneyloveatl@gmail.com. And thank you so much for joining me.